Good morning. Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I'm going to do something today that I quite often don't do. I'm going to try to do a farming video of what's going on today on our farm. And I guess I was going to give a little advice first to all the grandfathers out there that farm with sons and maybe grandsons. What happens, or at least on our farm on Saturday, when if there's no baseball, hockey, or soccer, we have lots of help. And what you have to do, and I don't mind doing it, is stand back and let them at it. So today I've got well, the two sons, of course, and two grandsons. So that makes Grandpa unemployed, kind of. So I'm going to be the gopher today. But before I do that, I've got the old 7810. This old girl, she's got going to turn 7,000 hours here real soon. We don't use this tractor for doing field work much. Matter of fact, those duals haven't been on for a number of years. But this farm here was tiled in the spring, and there was some craters that needed filled in. And what I got, and usually we don't use this tool in the spring, I got the land leveler and packer, and what I'm doing is filling in tiling craters, and we got it looking pretty good. This farm yesterday was so rough you could hardly drive over it. Anyway, I'm going to try to catch what everybody's doing today on the farm and show you what we do when we farm. Yeah, I hope you can hear me. It's a little noisy in this old tractor. What I'm doing is land leveling, and as I said before, this farm was tiled in the spring, and spring tiling on playground is not the best practice. However, this farm needed tile bad, and for a lot of reasons it didn't get it until this spring. But fortunately it's tiled and it's ready to go. And so what I'm doing with the land leveler, we have cultivated this farm about 3 times, maybe 4. We run over it with the packer to break the lumps up, and what I'm doing is land leveling it to fill in all the craters that the tile machine left, and trying to make it level so we can plant corn. And hopefully Jarod can come in and spray this when I get this done, and then we'll try to get this planted into corn today. It's Saturday morning. It's about 6:15, I think. Saw quite a few guys on the way out here heading into work or heading to the field. Everybody's got an early start. It's a little bit late for us here. We typically plant our corn the last week of April, but it was too wet, and we don't like planting when it's too wet, so that's what's happening. I've got it about this field about half done. There's 50 acres in this field, and I hope to get it done so Jarod can get it sprayed. Our program is work it once, then we spray 20 gallons of 28% down with our chemical for corn, then we work it again and plant it. Then we'll come along when the corn's up about 6 or 8 inches, and then we'll side dress the rest of the nitrogen on. We put dry fertilizer on when we plant, and we've also put dry fertilizer on in the fall. This was wheat last year, and that's kind of what our plan is. We have quite a few acres that we grow corn, beans, and wheat in a 3-year rotation, and we find that gets you away from growing beans on beans on beans. And we also have some land that we grow 2 years of beans, 1 year of wheat. Although a year ago, well, yeah, a year ago there was very little wheat in this area because we just couldn't get it into the fall. It was too wet. Anyway, I am struggling a little bit this morning. This tractor, it does have auto steer, but we're short on globes, and to run the auto steer, this one just doesn't have one on it. It does have auto steer. We have a brown box, but we're short one globe, so somebody had to lose, and we're only going to do this one little field, so we'll hand steer it. Go back to old school. If you can see through that dirty window, you can see how this land leveler takes the humps and hills out. And like I said, it's not a tool we usually use in the spring. Matter of fact, we haven't hooked on it in the spring for at least 10 years that I can remember. We had this tool when we used to plow. We would use this after we would typically plow our wheat ground in the fall, and we would use this corner ways to fill in dead furrows and level off strikeouts and whatnot, and also to break the humps and lumps down, because it is a relatively cheap piece of machinery. There's almost nothing can go wrong with it other than wear out, and it runs a lot of acres before it wears out that half-inch angle iron. It's 1/2 by 3 or 1/2 by 4, I'm not sure which. Anyway, the old 7810's doing a heck of a job here. So I finished with the land leveling, and the next order of business is spraying. So what I did, when I was on the last round, I sent a text to Jarod and said, last round. And he had the sprayer filled up. And what he's doing now is putting on chemical and 20 gallons of 28. And he'll only be a few minutes and he'll have this field done. Took me about 4 hours to land level it, but land leveling is a job you can't do fast because you got to wait for the dirt to fall into the holes. And what he's got here is our sprayer, and it's been on a video or two before. It's a John Deere 120-foot boom. Anyway, I'll get a shot of him as he comes around the corner. What I'm trying to do today is get everybody in action here on the farm. Like I say, we've got 2 grandsons working ground, Craig's planting, and Jarod and I are kind of filling in. Anyway, normally he'd have swung around, but I think he's afraid of hitting the packer. And what this does, it'll turn itself on. He's went all the way around the field, did a perimeter, and as soon as he crosses what is sprayed, it will turn itself on. He sprays with auto steer and GPS, so it doesn't overlap. And there it goes. Anyway, I got a soft tire I gotta blow up. I gotta fuel up. We'll get ready for the next job. So what I got here, Craig is planting corn. I'm trying to catch everybody with what they're doing. He's got the 8260R. He's already planted 50 acres this morning. And this is his second farm. We use dry fertilizer, which takes a little time. Anyway, I'm here with color commentator Cory. How are you, Cory?
Good.
God. We're off on a mission. Like I said this morning, all I'm doing is running, trying to keep stuff to these guys, and we're a little short on corn. So I'm going to pick up 25 bags of seed corn. I got one more tool here that we used yesterday that we're not using today, and that's this packer. What we used it for was busting up lumps in that field that I land leveled, and we had it hooked on this. This is a 6155M, and we really don't have a job for this tractor other than we use it to spread fertilizer in the fall and haul wagons, and the rest of the time it's kind of our spare. I guess that's what it is. So the boys are out here. They're gonna get this field ready for corn, and I'm gonna go out and check on that. If I can get through here without going in the ditch. What we've got here is Cameron. He's working ground with the 9320. I wanted to get a shot of him doing that. Everybody has a job today but Cory and I. We're just kind of, what are we doing, Cory? We're filling in, touring around. Anyway, my job was to check on this to make sure it's dry enough, and I'm sure it is by the dust. It's pretty good. You can drive over and see. This is fit. It's not any too dry, but it's going to be okay. There's actually a corn plot goes in here. We do rent a little bit of land out for research, and this is where one of the corn plots is. Wesley's got the 8400. They just finished a farm down the road, and he's coming in. What we do, this is going to be corn, so what they'll do is work it once, then Jarod will come along and the norm will give it 20 gallons of 28 and herbicide, and we work it again and plant it. So hopefully that will happen today. Cameron will be along here in a minute. He's working up ground. We're up on a farm that we call this farm Cuthbert. There's actually two pieces. There's 235 acres in this piece, and there's another 50 up the road. And what Jarod has done is grouped these farms, all of our farms, into areas. Jarod does all the spraying, and he makes it so that it's easy to spray, so that we can just bring a tank of water here, and he likes to do couple hundred acres every time he moves. Anyway, I'm cultivating for the second time over. We will finish corn today, I hope. Craig had to get a bearing and a closing wheel this morning, and Jarod's greasing. Got Frank's coming out. He's gonna do a little maintenance, grease the bean planter. We're almost half done soybeans, and with a little luck we won't finish tomorrow, but we will finish. We should finish Thursday. It's going to rain Friday or Saturday, so it'd be nice to be done. I think it's Saturday now. Anyway, this farm has had some buildings on it when Craig bought it, and every year we work it. There's a few bricks, like here's a few bricks right here that have come up, but like Craig said last night, every year there gets to be less. So one thing with bricks and cement, they do end. Rocks never end, and we're lucky. This farm has a few rocks, not very many. Anyway, so we gotta come. We have rolled this farm just to what we call recycle the rocks, put them down. But this year I think we're going to do a little rock pick. What we use to do that is the gators. That way you can just kind of lean over, and if it's a small one, grab it and throw it in the back. Yeah, I thought I'd just take a minute and show you how we fill our planter. Everybody does it different, but what we have is this on-per-berth tender unit. It holds 6 totes. We use it for corn, beans, and wheat. We put our wheat in it. We dump bulk seed corn in it. Use it to fill the corn planter. And we actually bought it for soybeans. But anyway, we use it for just about everything. What it has is a belt. Works really good, doesn't hurt the beans at all, which is key. That's why we wanted a belt and not an auger. And he has a switch up there. He can shut the belt off. And when he's all by himself, the hopper just fills up. Piece of cake. And I haven't showed you the bean planter. What this is a Kinsey swinger planter. And what it does, it goes up on a pole in the middle there. And it swings so you can take it down the road endways. Because it's 40 feet wide and kind of hard to get down the road.